Welcome everyone. In this episode I get down to work of settling in on the new boat and getting things all cleaned up. There's a bunch of projects that I'm going to be working on kind of simultaneously, so it's going to be kind of scattered between a bunch of different things that I'm doing, but I hope you enjoy the episode. Thank you. One of the first orders of business was to start cleaning all the woodwork. Lots of scrubbing involved. Might as well make a dance party out of it. After buckets and buckets of dirty water and a whole bunch of teak oil, the original teak was really starting to show its beautiful colors. This is a good example of just a little bit of the teak oil and some elbow grease. You see the differences in the wood. It's simply wiping. Now, of course, I've already gone ahead and used a wood soap to be able to get this all cleaned prior to this and had it dry. But this boat is going to be so beautiful. One of the more glamorous boat jobs, scrubbing away bird shit off of the sail cover. The top sides needed lots of scrubbing as well. There was conveniently a hose with a bit of a pressure washer that I could use right on the decks and do a lot of scrubbing. Unfortunately, I failed to notice that the drain for the deck happened to be exactly where I had parked the dinghy. I also did some battery maintenance as well, double checking the fluid levels. I purchased a really convenient little jug that I could just insert and it would automatically fill to the appropriate level with distilled water. I also started polishing all the stainless steel and refinishing some of the wooden blocks that were on the boat. Don't worry, I stopped using the green scrub pad for fear of scratching the metal. I also took time to just relax in the hammock and watch the sunset. So when I bought Lost Pearl, one of the things was that the engine wasn't fully put back together. The previous owner had been working on getting the injectors rebuilt. And well, they're still in a box, so I need to actually go ahead and put them back in, and hopefully the engine will work after all that, but I don't really know. I'm not much of a diesel mechanic, so let's see if I can get this thing back together and running. Time to take another crack at getting this engine going. Time for a filter change. Loving the fact that this engine room has such great access. Doors like this on either side, and they completely come out. So I've already changed the main filter over here, which has the water separator in it as well. The fuel actually looked pretty clean through the filter, but the filter itself was pretty dirty, and it wasn't quite installed correctly. It wasn't primed correctly, I guess would be the best way to put it. So only about 3/4 of the filter was actually being used. I still need to change the primary filter, and that's what I'm going to do now. I've already got the brand new injectors in place. Well, brand new, newly rebuilt at any rate. And bled the system with no luck yesterday. But now I'm going to change this, and I looked up again the proper procedure for bleeding it, and there was a step that I'd missed. So we're going to give that a go, and hopefully this all works. Going to take my sails in today to get inspected down to a sailmaker. I have to take them in by dinghy because I have no other way to get them into the dock area. I might actually end up using 2 dinghies because it all won't fit in one haul. But the area where I can drop them off is pretty close, so I might just do 2 trips. I'm going to have them inspected and repaired as needed. Most likely, I'm going to need at least a new staysail because that one is ripped pretty bad. The mizzen and the main, I'm just going to have them inspected, and maybe they're getting a little too old. Maybe they just need a few little repairs. I'll see. The Yankee actually looks like it's in really good condition. It's just the fabric on the leech side for the sun protection that seems to be a bit worn, but the sail itself appears, at least to my eyes, to be in really good condition. So we're going to go do that. It should be a little bit of a calamity trying to get everything into one load if I can, and I might end up hooking up a B train with 2 dinghies at the same time. We'll see what works out best. I have a feeling I should have studied more calf roping techniques when I was in Calgary watching the Stampede all those years. Never knew that could be a skill I could have used on a sailboat. Working on getting the anchor windlass removed. The company that makes it, Lighthouse, they offer a program where you can send them the windlass, and then they'll just do a complete overhaul on the unit and then send it back. So I'm able to send the whole thing, the unit, the motor, as well as the remote unit that sits back at the helm. So I'm just in the process now of getting it unhooked from under here inside the anchor locker. I've already disconnected the wiring harness that comes down from the windlass to this unit. And then as you can see this way, where that pipe comes down in the middle, that's actually where the motor mounts. That has already been removed. And so now I just have to undo all those bolts and unhook the chain itself. And then I'll be good to go from there. It's tricky trying to do this single-handed, as it's hard to hold the nut and the bolt at the same time from opposite sides of the deck. But I made it work with some vice grips and some crescent wrenches that were braced up against something. Made an ice splice last night and put a thimble in it so that I could have a little bit less wear and tear right here on where the joints the block. And then I also refinished this block, which I'm going to do for all the blocks that are on the boat, all the wood ones at any rate, and get them looking back to new again. They look a heck of a lot much nicer this way. So on this boat, there's actually 2 of these oil lanterns. There's this one here just above the dining room table, and then there's another one right over here in the kind of living area. Unfortunately, this one is missing the glass And I'm going to see if I can get the glass for that. This one, the glass is cracked a little bit, but what really surprised me is when I was looking into it, it actually still has fuel in the basin there. So I opened it up and I kind of re-soaked the wick that's in there, and now I'm going to actually try to light it for the first time without kind of burning the place down. I'm pretty sure there's a fire extinguisher around here somewhere. Okay. So let's see. Oh, here's the lid. This glass back in here. Well, well, well. Look at that. Turn it down here a little bit. See if I can get that warm up. That is so cool. Well, well, well. I might just get some more lamp oil. See if I can get the other one working. Your one still has the wick in it as well. You should be able to do that. There's a bit of heat with no smoke. It seems really clear. I can make sure, of course, I have a window open for air, but that is so cool. Well, thank you very much for watching. There's lots more work to do, so I've got lots of video coming out soon enough, hopefully once a week or so. I'll try to get caught up to where I actually am now, because most of the video that you saw was from December, maybe early January, but right now it's already mid-March, so there's a lot more to come, and hopefully I can get caught up, and that'll make posts on Facebook make a little bit more sense, because things will be a little bit closer in sync. Thanks again. Take care. Good evening, everyone. This is NBC Sports International with Billy McCluskey. Welcome to the 31st race of the Chihuahua Cup.